The city of New York had seen plenty of impossible things: flying men in capes, laser eyes cutting through steel, invulnerable golden gods smiling for cameras while entire city blocks burned behind them. But nobody, not Vault International's analytics team, not Homelander's super hearing, not even the CIA's soupy surveillance network, had detected the bald man in the yellow jumpsuit who simply walked out of an alley in Queens on a Tuesday afternoon, looked around with mild confusion and said, "Huh, this isn't the supermarket." Saitama scratched his head, staring at the unfamiliar skyline. The buildings were wrong. The signs were in English, but the brands were different. And most confusing of all, there was a massive billboard showing 7 people in costumes with the tagline, "Heroes Like Us TM," plastered underneath. He squinted at it. The blonde guy in the middle looked particularly obnoxious, cape billowing dramatically despite there being no wind. "Did I take a wrong turn at the sale?" Saitama muttered, checking his empty wallet. He'd been heading to the supermarket for their Tuesday egg discount when reality had gotten weird. One moment he was walking down a normal street in Z City. The next moment the air had shimmered like heat waves and he'd stumbled through into this place. A scream cut through his thoughts. Saitama turned with the kind of casual interest most people reserved for checking the time. 3 blocks away, a woman was being dragged into a van by masked men. Pedestrians scattered, car alarms blared, and absolutely nobody helped. "Guess some things are universal," Saitama sighed and started walking. He didn't run. Running seemed excessive. By the time he reached the van, which had already driven 2 blocks, the kidnappers were congratulating themselves on another successful grab. Vaught's Heroes TM had response times measured in minutes for this neighborhood. They had plenty of time. Saitama knocked on the van's back door. "Hey, let her go." The door flew open and a gun barrel pressed against his face. "Get lost, Baldy, or—" Saitama flicked the gun. Just flicked it. The weapon shattered into pieces, the van crumpled like aluminum foil, and all 4 kidnappers flew backward through the vehicle's front windshield to land unconscious on the street. The woman stumbled out, staring at her bald savior in shock. "You should call the police," Saitama said helpfully, already walking away. He had eggs to find. Behind him, smartphones emerged. Within 30 seconds, 6 different angles of the rescue hit social media. Within 2 minutes, Vault's algorithm detected an unregistered super-performing, unauthorized heroics. Within 5 minutes, Ashley Barrett, Vault's senior vice president of hero management, was screaming into 3 phones simultaneously while her assistant pulled up everything they could find on Bald Cape Guy, which was nothing. No records, no Compound V administration logs, no foster home placements, no nothing. "Get me the 7, Ashley said, her eye twitching. "We have an unlicensed problem." Saitama, oblivious to the corporate machinery now focused on him, was discovering that this world's supermarkets were called grocery stores, and their egg prices were insultingly high. He stared at the price tag with genuine distress. $4 for a dozen eggs? Highway robbery. "Excuse me, sir." A young man with a camera approached nervously. "Are you the hero from Queens? The video's going viral. You saved that woman." "I just told some guys to stop," Saitama said, still mourning the egg prices. "But you have powers. Are you with Vault? What's your hero name? What team are you on?" Saitama looked at him blankly. "I'm Saitama. I'm not on a team. I'm just a guy who's a hero for fun." He paused. "Do you know where I can find cheap eggs?" The young man, Cameron Coleman, junior social media coordinator for Vault News Network, felt his journalistic instincts tingling. An unknown super, casual about heroics, asking about eggs. This was either the weirdest PR stunt ever or something genuinely new. I can show you a place," Cameron said carefully, But first, can I ask, are you interested in joining the Seven? Vaught's always looking for... The Seven what? Saitama interrupted, genuinely confused. Cameron's jaw dropped. The Seven, the greatest superhero team on Earth, Homelander, Queen Maeve. You've never heard of them? Saitama shrugged. Nope. Are they strong? Before Cameron could answer, the air split with a sonic boom. A figure in blue and red descended from the sky, cape billowing perfectly, landing with one fist to the ground in a pose that had been focus grouped to test at 94% approval with key demographics. Homelander rose slowly, smile bright and dead behind the eyes. Well, well, Homelander said, voice carrying that folksy charm that made millions of Americans trust him. Heard we had a new hero in town, operating without vault authorization, I see. That's a big no-no, partner. Saitama looked up at him. Who are you? The smile on Homelander's face twitched. Around them, pedestrians were already filming, squealing with excitement at seeing the Homelander in person. Cameron wisely backed away. I'm Homelander, he said, louder for the cameras. Leader of the Seven, greatest hero in the world. And you are? Saitama, I'm just looking for cheap eggs. He turned back to the store. Do you know if they have sales on Wednesdays? Homelander's eye twitched. 14 years of being worshipped as a god. 14 years of people cowering or fawning. And this bald nobody in a dollar store costume was ignoring him, asking about eggs. I don't think you understand how this works, Homelander said, voice dropping the folksy charm. You don't just do heroics in this country without Vault's approval, without being on a team, without paying your dues. Okay, Saitama said agreeably, finding a discount aisle. I'll leave after I get eggs. Homelander's fist clenched. The cameras were still rolling. Millions would see this. Some bald idiot dismissing him, making him look weak. He floated forward, placing himself between Saitama and the eggs. I don't think you heard me, Baldy. You're coming with me. We're going to have a chat about unauthorized hero work. Saitama finally gave Homelander his full attention. For one brief moment, the leader of the Seven felt something he hadn't experienced since childhood. Genuine unease. Those eyes weren't scared. Weren't impressed, just bored. I just want eggs, Saitama said. Can you move? Homelander's jaw tightened. Fine. If this nobody wanted to play it that way, he'd learn what happens when you disrespect the Homelander. He placed one hand on Saitama's shoulder, gripped tight enough to shatter concrete. Let's go. Now. Saitama looked at the hand on his shoulder, then back at Homelander. You're kind of rude, you know that? Then he walked forward. Just walked. And Homelander, with all his compound V-enhanced strength, with power enough to pull down airplanes and crush steel, found himself being pushed backward like he weighed nothing, his feet dragged across the floor. Impossible. Nobody could overpower him. Nobody. He flew upward, ripping through the store's ceiling, taking Saitama with him. They burst into the sky above New York, Homelander's hand still locked on Saitama's shoulder as they rocketed upward past skyscrapers. Cameras across the city tracked their ascent. Okay, that's pretty cool, Saitama admitted, watching the ground shrink below. I don't usually fly. Homelander's smile was razor-sharp now. Neither do you. You fall. He released Saitama 5,000 feet above the city. Saitama fell. Wind whipped past his bald head as New York became a growing map of streets and buildings below. He had maybe 10 seconds before impact. Most people would scream. Most soups would panic. Huh, Saitama said, watching a bird fly past. Didn't bring my grocery bags anyway. He hit the ground in the middle of Times Square with the force of a meteor. The concrete crater was 20 feet wide. Car alarms shrieked. Tourists screamed and scattered. Dust filled the air, and from the center of the impact, Saitama stood up, brushing dirt off his yellow jumpsuit with mild annoyance. "That wasn't nice," he said to nobody in particular. Above, Homelander floated, staring down in disbelief. The fall should have killed anything, should have turned this nobody into paste. But he was standing, not just alive, completely unharmed. Not even bleeding. Homelander's super hearing caught the heartbeat, steady, calm, not even elevated. What the fuck was this guy? Before he could process it, his phone buzzed. Ashley. He answered with a growl. "Get back to the tower now," Ashley hissed. "Every camera in Times Square just watched you drop an unarmed man from the sky. Social media's exploding. We need damage control immediately." Homelander looked down at Saitama, who was now trying to get dust out of his boots. Walking away would look weak, but staying meant dealing with something he didn't understand, and Homelander hated not understanding things. "This isn't over, Baldy," he called down, then shot away in a blur of red and blue. Saitama watched him go. Weird guy. A phone appeared in his face, then another, then 20. Tourists and New Yorkers surrounded him, filming, asking questions, wanting photos. Saitama blinked at the attention. "Are you okay? What's your hero name? Did Homelander just try to kill you? Are you joining the Seven? Can you fly too? Is that costume tactical or fashion?" "I'm fine," Saitama said, trying to edge away from the crowd. "I should really get those eggs before the store closes." A black SUV screeched to a halt at the crater's edge. The door opened and a woman in an expensive suit emerged, flanked by two men in tactical gear. Ashley Barrett looked like she'd aged 5 years in the last 10 minutes. "Mr. Saitama," she said with a smile that didn't reach her eyes. "I'm Ashley Barrett, Senior VP of Hero Management at Vote International. We need to talk. Now." "I don't really—" "Get in the car or Homelander comes back," Ashley said flatly. "And next time I can't guarantee he'll be in a good mood." Saitama considered this. The blonde guy was annoying and had interrupted his shopping, but this woman seemed stressed and he didn't want to cause problems. He shrugged and got in the SUV. The ride to Vout Tower was silent except for Ashley's frantic texting. Saitama watched the city pass by, noting the abundance of hero merchandise in store windows. Action figures, lunchboxes, energy drinks. Everything had a hero's face on it. It was like Hero Association back home, but way more commercial. Vought Tower loomed above Manhattan like a gleaming middle finger to humility. The SUV descended into an underground parking garage with security that would make a military base jealous. Ashley led Saitama through corridors of steel and glass, past offices where people in expensive clothes argued about Q4 hero metrics and sentiment analysis. They entered a conference room with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. A man in an expensive suit was already waiting. Stan Edgar, CEO of Vote International. He studied Saitama with the cold calculation of someone who'd built an empire on monetizing superpowers. "Mr. Saitama," Stan said calmly, "please sit. We have much to discuss." Saitama sat, mostly because standing seemed like more effort. "Am I in trouble?" "Trouble?" Stan smiled thinly. "No, you're an opportunity. An unknown super with clear powers operating without authorization. Normally, that would be a problem. But given your impressive display today, we're prepared to make you an offer." Ashley opened a tablet, pulling up contracts and marketing projections. Vought International manages every major hero team in America. The Seven, Teenage Kicks, Young Americans. We provide brand management, legal protection, PR, merchandising, and most importantly, liability coverage. Heroes who operate outside our system face legal consequences, lawsuits, criminal charges. the full weight of federal hero regulations. "We want to sign you," Stan continued. "Full contract, training, marketing team, a spot on one of our premier teams. You'd be a millionaire within a year, billionaire within 5 if the metrics hold." Saitama looked confused. "I just want to buy eggs." Stan's eye twitched infinitesimally. "Yes, well, as a Vault hero, you'd never worry about groceries again. We provide full living expenses, penthouses, personal chefs. Can I still go to the supermarket? I like looking for sales." Ashley made a sound like a dying printer. Stan maintained his composure through sheer force of will. "Mr. Saitama, I don't think you understand. That stunt with Homelander today, that's going to have consequences. He's the face of our company, the most powerful hero on Earth, and you embarrassed him, made him look weak." "He dropped me from the sky," Saitama pointed out. "Yes, and social media's having a field day with that. Which is why we need to control the narrative. Sign with us, and this becomes a story about Homelander testing a promising new recruit. Refuse, and we make your life very difficult." Saitama scratched his head. "I don't really care about any of that. I'm not even from here. I was trying to get eggs and ended up in this weird place with expensive groceries and people in costumes calling themselves heroes while actual criminals do whatever they want." Stan leaned forward. "Not from here? What does that mean?" "I'm from Z City, Japan. But the buildings are wrong and none of the brands exist, and everyone speaks English. I think I'm in the wrong dimension or something." Saitama said this with the same tone most people would use to say they'd gotten on the wrong bus. Ashley and Stan exchanged glances. Either this guy was insane or they were dealing with something completely outside their understanding. Stan made a quick decision. "Dimensional displacement. Fascinating. We have scientists who could study that. Help you get home. But they'd need to run tests, study your physiology, understand your powers. Which means you'd need to work with Vought, exclusively." Saitama perked up slightly. "You could help me get home?" "Absolutely," Stan lied smoothly. "But first, we need to establish some ground rules. No unauthorized heroics, no public appearances without our approval. And most importantly, you need to make nice with Homelander. Public reconciliation shows everyone that the Seven is still the premier team." Before Saitama could respond, the conference room door exploded inward. Not opened, exploded. Homelander strode in, eyes glowing red, flanked by the rest of the Seven. Queen Maeve looked tired. A-Train vibrated with nervous energy. The Deep was checking his hair in a window reflection. Black Noir stood silently. Starlight looked uncomfortable. Translucent was probably there somewhere. "Fuck this corporate dance," Homelander snarled. "I want to know what he is, and I want to know now." Stan stood smoothly. "Homelander, we're in the middle of negotiations. I don't care." Homelander focused on Saitama with laser intensity. "You? What are you? How did you survive that fall? Why can't I see through you with my X-ray vision? What the fuck are you?" Saitama looked at him with the same expression he'd give spoiled milk. "I'm just a guy who's a hero for fun, and you're still kind of rude." Homelander's eyes blazed brighter. The windows rattled. Everyone in the room tensed. Everyone except Saitama, who just looked mildly annoyed. "Say that again," Homelander whispered dangerously. The tension in Vought Tower's conference room could have powered the building. Homelander's eyes glowed like dying suns, heat vision barely contained. The Seven stood behind him in various states of readiness. Queen Maeve's hand drifted toward the table edge, something to throw if this went sideways. A-Train's molecules vibrated, ready to flee. Starlight's hands crackled with barely contained light. Stan Edgar's voice cut through like a knife. "Homelander, stand down. We're handling this diplomatically." Diplomatically, Homelander laughed, the sound containing no humor. Stan, this nobody made me look like a bitch on camera. Survived a fall that should have liquefied his organs, and won't tell me what he is. He took a step toward Saitama. I don't do diplomatic with threats. I'm not a threat, Saitama said reasonably. I just want to go home. After you embarrassed the Homelander, A-Train spoke up, trying to score points with his leader. You think you can just walk away? Saitama looked at A-Train with mild interest. You talk really fast. Are you fast too? A-Train blinked. I'm the fastest man alive, bro. I'm A-Train. You've seriously never heard of me? Nope. Queen Maeve snorted, quickly covering it with a cough. Homelander's glare could have melted steel. Okay, here's what's going to happen, Homelander said, voice dropping to that dangerous calm that made Ashley's blood pressure spike. You're going to submit to a full examination by our medical team. They're going to figure out exactly what you are. Then you're going to do a joint press conference with me where you apologize for the misunderstanding and beg to join the Seven. Or? Saitama asked. Homelander's smile was all teeth. Or I spend the next hour finding out if you can survive being thrown into the sun. Saitama stood up. Everyone tensed. Homelander's heat vision intensified, ready to fire. And Saitama said, Do you guys have a bathroom? That car ride was long. The absurdity of the question broke the tension like a popped balloon. Starlight giggled nervously. The Deep muttered, What the fuck, under his breath. Even Black Noir's head tilted in confusion. Homelander stared. What? Bathroom, Saitama repeated patiently. I need to pee. Ashley pointed shakily toward the door. Down the hall, third door on your left. Thanks. Saitama walked past Homelander, who was too stunned to stop him, and left the room. The door clicked shut. Silence. Did he just... A-Train started. He just walked out in the middle of a threat from Homelander. Queen Maeve finished, unable to hide her amusement. Homelander's eye twitched violently. I'm going to kill him. You're not, Stan said firmly, because we don't know if you can. And if you try and fail on camera, Vault's stock drops 50 points and our entire hero paradigm collapses. So we're going to be smart about this. Smart? Homelander turned his glowing eyes on Stan. He's making me look weak. Then make yourself look strong without fighting him, Stan countered. Challenge him to an authorized exhibition, controlled environment, our cameras, our narrative. You demonstrate your superiority in front of billions. He gets humbled publicly, and we sign him to a contract while he's vulnerable. Win-win. Homelander considered this. The idea of humiliating the bald idiot in front of the entire world had appeal, and if things went wrong, they could always cut the feed. Fine, he said. Set it up. But it happens tomorrow. I'm not waiting around while this nobody wanders our building using our bathrooms. Ashley was already on her phone, arranging the exhibition, bribing event coordinators, and calling in every favor she had to make this happen on 24 hours' notice. This was either going to be the greatest PR coup in Vought history or the disaster that ended her career. Saitama returned, looking relieved. Nice bathroom. Very clean. Mr. Saitama, Stan said smoothly, Homelander has graciously agreed to give you an opportunity to prove yourself. Tomorrow afternoon, you'll participate in a friendly exhibition match. Show the world what you can do. If you impress us, we'll fast-track your contract and dedicate full resources to getting you home. An exhibition match? Saitama perked up slightly. Like a fight? A demonstration of abilities, Stan corrected carefully. Nothing too serious, just enough to give us and the public a sense of your capabilities. Saitama looked disappointed. Oh, is there a strong opponent? I haven't had a good fight in years. Homelander's smile was wolfish. "Oh, I think you'll find I'm strong enough." "Cool," Saitama said without much enthusiasm. "Can I get those eggs first? I'm really hungry." The absurdity of the request, a man about to face the Homelander asking for eggs, would have been funny if everyone wasn't so stressed. Ashley assigned an assistant to take Saitama grocery shopping. Stan arranged a secure apartment for him, and Homelander stormed out to prepare, already planning exactly how he'd crush this bald nobody on international television. As they were leaving, Queen Maeve pulled Saitama aside. She looked tired in a way that went beyond physical exhaustion. "Hey," she said quietly, "you should leave. Tonight. Just disappear before tomorrow." "Why?" Saitama asked. "Because Homelander doesn't lose, ever. And when he fights someone who threatens his image, he doesn't stop at winning. He destroys them." Her eyes held genuine concern. "I've seen him kill people for less than what you did today. The exhibition is going to be a slaughter, and Vought will edit the footage to make it look however they want." Saitama considered this. Is he actually strong? Or is he just mean? Maeve laughed bitterly. Both. He can bench press a 747, laser through buildings, move faster than sound, and he has zero conscience to hold him back. Whatever you think you can do, it won't be enough. "Okay," Saitama said agreeably. "Thanks for the warning." He didn't leave. The Vought event arena had been transformed overnight into what Ashley kept calling a celebration of heroism. 20,000 seats filled with screaming fans, camera drones positioned for every angle, corporate sponsors' logos plastered on every available surface. And at the center, a reinforced platform designed to withstand superhuman combat. Ashley stood in the production booth, mainlining coffee and antacids. "We have President Singer watching from the White House, 300 million livestream viewers, every major news network covering this. If this goes wrong, we're all fucked." Below, Homelander stood in the Seven's private prep room, being made camera-ready by a team of makeup artists and stylists. His suit had been freshly pressed, his hair perfectly styled. He looked like America's wet dream of patriotism and power. "Remember," Ashley said through his earpiece, "this is a friendly exhibition. Show your superiority, but keep it heroic. Smile for the cameras. Make the audience love you more than they already do." "I know how to work a crowd, Ashley," Homelander said, irritation bleeding through the folksy charm. "Just make sure the cameras catch every moment of me putting that bald fuck in his place." Across the venue in a much smaller prep room, Saitama sat on a folding chair eating supermarket sushi. He'd refused the costume designers Vought sent, refused the makeup team, refused the hero name consultants who insisted Saitama tested poorly with focus groups. He was wearing his regular yellow jumpsuit with the white cape and red gloves. "You're going to die," said a voice from the doorway. Saitama looked up. A scruffy man in a Hawaiian shirt leaned against the frame, dark eyes sharp with intelligence. Billy Butcher. Behind him, the rest of the boys, Mother's Milk, Frenchie, Kimiko, and, standing awkwardly, Huey. "Who are you?" Saitama asked around a mouthful of sushi. "Name's Butcher. These are my mates. We're what you might call concerned citizens with a vested interest in soups not being complete cunts." He jerked his thumb toward the arena. "And that golden-haired psychopath out there, he's the king of cunts. He's going to try to kill you today." "That lady already warned me," Saitama said. "The tired-looking one." "Maeve." "Yeah, she would." Butcher stepped closer, studying Saitama with the intensity of a man who'd made killing soups his life's work. "Here's what I don't get. You survived a 5,000-foot drop like it was nothing. Homelander couldn't move you when he tried. What the fuck are you? Just a guy who's a hero for fun." "Bollocks." Nobody's that strong without Compound V. What's your story? Secret government program? New version of V? Alien? Saitama shrugged. I did 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and a 10-kilometer run every day for 3 years. No heating or AC to strengthen my mind. The boys stared at him. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, MM said finally. It's true, though, Saitama said, finishing his sushi. Butcher laughed, a sound with sharp edges. Either you're batshit insane or you're playing a game I don't understand yet. But here's the deal. If you actually manage to hurt that blonde bastard, I want to talk. We're building something, a way to take down Volt from the inside. Could use someone who Homelander can't squash like a bug. I'm not really into team stuff, Saitama said. I just want to find a way home. Yeah, well, good luck with that. Vaught's lying about helping you. They're going to study you, control you, or kill you. That's what they do. Butcher turned to leave, then paused. One more thing. When you hit him, and you'd better fucking hit him, don't hold back. The world needs to see that cunt bleed. They left. Saitama threw away his sushi container and stretched. The arena announcer's voice boomed through speakers. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the event of the century. The crowd roared. In this corner, the greatest hero America has ever known, the leader of the Seven, the guardian of our skies, Homelander. Homelander emerged to thunderous applause, fireworks, lasers. His entrance was choreographed like a Super Bowl halftime show. He soared above the crowd, waving, smiling, embodying everything America wanted to believe about itself. He landed on the platform with perfect form, cape billowing majestically. And in this corner, the mysterious newcomer who survived the impossible, the bald hero, Saitama. Saitama walked out to significantly less fanfare. No fireworks, no music swell, just a bald guy in a yellow suit walking across the arena floor like he was heading to the grocery store. The crowd's cheers were confused, uncertain. He climbed onto the platform. Homelander's smile was razor-sharp as cameras swarmed them. Ready to show America what you've got, Baldy? I guess, Saitama said. Are you going to try hard? I'd appreciate an actual challenge. The smile froze on Homelander's face. In his earpiece, Ashley was screaming about staying professional. The referee, some C-list soup Vought trotted out for events like this, explained rules that nobody was paying attention to. Remember, the referee said nervously, this is a friendly exhibition. First blood, knockout, or submission wins. Keep it. Yeah, Homelander waved him away. We know. The bell rang. Homelander moved first, faster than most eyes could track, throwing a punch that had killed terrorists and shattered tanks. It hit Saitama square in the face with a sound like thunder. Saitama's head moved slightly to the side. That was it. Just slightly. The arena went quiet. 20,000 people held their breath. 300 million viewers leaned closer to their screens. And Homelander stared at his fist, still pressed against Saitama's cheek, with the dawning realization that something was very wrong. That tickled, Saitama said. Is that your best punch? Homelander's eyes widened, then narrowed, then blazed red. He unleashed everything, a barrage of punches moving faster than sound, each one strong enough to demolish buildings. He aimed for the face, the ribs, the joints, everywhere that should have broken or shattered or bled. The platform cracked under the force. The air itself screamed, and Saitama just stood there, occasionally blinking when a punch came near his eyes. The crowd watched in stunned silence as their greatest hero threw everything he had at this bald nobody and achieved absolutely nothing. No blood, no bruises. Not even a red mark. Homelander stopped, chest heaving not from exertion but from rage. What the fuck are you? I told you, Saitama said patiently. "Just a guy who's a hero for fun. Is it my turn now?" In the production booth, Ashley whispered, "Oh, fuck." Homelander fired his heat vision point blank into Saitama's face. Beams hot enough to cut through steel engulfed Saitama's head in red light. The crowd gasped. Surely that would. The heat vision stopped. Smoke cleared. Saitama stood there, cape gently smoking, expression unchanged. "That was warm," he said. "Are you done?" Homelander screamed, and rushed forward, wrapping his arms around Saitama in a bear hug meant to crush every bone in his body. He squeezed with strength that could crumple cars. Veins bulged in his forehead, his face turned red with effort. Saitama looked down at the arms around him. "You're really not strong, are you? This is disappointing." "Shut up!" Homelander flew straight up, still holding Saitama, rocketing toward the arena's ceiling. They crashed through the reinforced roof, through structural steel into open sky. Homelander kept climbing higher and higher until they were above the clouds. 5,000 feet, 10,000, 30,000. "I'm the strongest," Homelander screamed into Saitama's face. "I'm a god. You're nothing." "Okay," Saitama said. "Can we go back down? This is boring." Homelander released him, 30,000 feet above New York City. Saitama fell, plummeting toward Earth. And Homelander dove after him, heat vision blazing, determined to turn this bald fuck into a stain on the pavement. They fell together, a missile of light and fury chasing a man who looked mildly annoyed. Then Saitama sighed. "I guess I should end this." He turned in midair, drew back his fist, and said the words that would change everything. Normal punch. The fist connected with Homelander's face at 30,000 feet above New York City. Physics died screaming. Homelander's body became a ballistic projectile moving at speeds that made sound itself give up. He shot backward through the sky, creating a sonic boom that shattered windows across 3 boroughs. His trajectory took him over the Hudson River, across New Jersey, through the Appalachian Mountains, literally through them, carving a tunnel through solid rock, across Pennsylvania, and finally embedding him 300 feet deep into an abandoned coal mine in Ohio. The impact registered on seismographs as a 4.2 magnitude earthquake. Saitama continued falling, using the momentum to land safely back in the arena, which was now missing a roof. He touched down on the cracked platform with barely a thud. 20,000 people sat in absolute silence. 300 million viewers forgot to breathe. "Is it over?" Saitama asked the referee, who was frozen in shock. "Can I go get dinner now?" The referee fainted. In the production booth, Ashley stared at the monitors showing Homelander's telemetry, his tracking beacon moving at supersonic speeds across multiple states before finally stopping in Ohio. Her hands shook as she reached for her phone. Stan Edgar answered on the first ring. "Tell me he's alive," Stan said calmly. Ashley checked the biometric data. Heartbeat detected. Elevated but steady. "He's alive. Unconscious, but alive. Good. Cut all feeds. Now. Tell the audience there was a technical malfunction. Offer full refunds. Get our legal team to sign NDAs with every single person in that arena before they leave." "And Ashley?" Stan's voice dropped. "Find out what that man is before Homelander wakes up and decides to level the city." The screens went dark. Emergency announcements played about unforeseen technical difficulties. Security began herding confused spectators toward exits while legal teams swarmed with tablets and contracts. But the damage was done. In the precious 3 minutes before Vault killed the feeds, thousands of people had recorded on their phones. Videos were already uploading. Social media exploded. The hashtag #OnePunchMan trended worldwide within seconds. Billy Butcher stood in the emptying arena, watching Saitama casually walk toward the exit, and started laughing. He laughed until tears streamed down his face, until looked genuinely concerned for his sanity. "Oi, boss, you all right?" asked. "All right?" "All right." Butcher wiped his eyes. "I just watched the cunt who murdered my wife get punched into fucking Ohio. I'm better than all right. I'm magnificent." He grabbed his phone, already dialing contacts. "Frenchie, you still got those connections at the Daily News? Good. I'm sending you footage. Anonymous source. Make sure it spreads everywhere. Vought can't scrub it." Huey stepped forward nervously. "Should we talk to him?" "Saitama." "Yeah," Butcher said, smile sharp as broken glass. "Yeah, we should, because that bald bastard just became the most important person in America." They found Saitama at a hot dog cart outside the arena, trying to pay with yen. "This isn't money here," the vendor explained patiently to this weird bald customer. "Oh," Saitama said, disappointed. "Do you take credit cards?" "I don't have a credit card," Saitama admitted. Butcher stepped in, slapping a 20 on the cart. "4 dogs, everything on them. He's with me." The vendor, recognizing Butcher's "don't ask questions" energy, quickly prepared the food. Saitama accepted the hot dog gratefully. "Thanks," he said, taking a large bite. "Don't mention it. Name's Butcher. We met earlier." He studied Saitama carefully. That was quite a punch back there. Homelander's probably still trying to figure out which state he's in. "Was it too hard?" Saitama asked, genuinely concerned. "I held back a lot. Normal punch is my weakest one." The boys exchanged glances. Muttered something that sounded like a prayer. "Your weakest," Butcher repeated slowly. "Right. And how many punches do you have?" "Normal, consecutive normal, serious, and serious series." Saitama finished his hot dog in 3 bites. "I've never needed anything past serious punch, though. Everything dies in 1 hit, usually." "Everything," Huey said weakly. "Yeah, it's pretty boring, actually." Saitama looked genuinely sad about this. "I got too strong. Training made me unbeatable, but took away all the excitement. Every fight ends in 1 punch now. No challenge, no thrill, just nothing." Butcher lit a cigarette, mind racing. This wasn't just powerful. This was something else entirely. Something beyond Compound 5, beyond anything Vought could create or control. And he just punched their golden god into another state. "Listen, mate. You got about 3 hours before Homelander wakes up, flies back here, and tries to kill you again. Except this time he'll be angry, embarrassed, dangerous. You need to disappear." "I can't go home yet," Saitama said. "Nobody knows how to help me get back to my dimension." "Your dimension?" rubbed his temples. "You're from another dimension." "Yeah, different Earth. I was shopping and everything got weird and now I'm here." Saitama looked around at the New York skyline. "It's similar but wrong, like a knockoff version." Frenchie laughed delightedly. "Mon ami, you have insulted Homelander, defeated him easily, and now you call his entire world a knockoff. I think I love you." "We can help you hide," Huey offered. "We know places Vought can't find, safe houses, off-grid locations." "But," Butcher added, "we'd need something from you in return. Information about what you did, how you did it. And maybe, if the opportunity presents itself, you help us with a little problem we've been trying to solve." "What problem?" Saitama asked. "Vought International, the 7, the entire corrupt system of fake heroes who abuse their power while hiding behind corporate lawyers and PR teams. We're trying to take them down, expose them, make them answer for every life they've destroyed." Butcher's eyes burned with cold fury. "Your little demonstration today proved Homelander isn't invincible. That changes everything. But we need to be smart about it. Saitama considered this while eating his second hot dog. Are they actually evil or just annoying? Evil, Kimiko signed. Translated. They've killed innocents, covered up crimes, assaulted people, sold super drugs to terrorists. Homelander alone has a body count in the thousands. And Vought protects them because they're profitable. Saitama's expression darkened slightly. That's not very heroic. No, Butcher agreed. It's not, which is why we need your help. You don't have to fight, just exist. Be the living proof that Homelander isn't the strongest, that their invincible golden boy can be beaten. Fear keeps people in line. You just broke that fear. Before Saitama could respond, every phone in the vicinity buzzed simultaneously. Emergency alerts, news notifications, breaking news across every channel. The boys checked their phones and collectively swore. "What is it?" Saitama asked. Huey turned his phone around. The headline read, "Homelander returns to New York. Demands rematch with bald terrorist." Below was footage of Homelander emerging from the Ohio coal mine, suit torn, face bruised, actually bruised. Visible proof he'd been hurt, eyes glowing with murderous rage. He was flying back toward New York at top speed. ETA 1 hour. And Vought was calling him a terrorist. The boys' safe house was a rundown apartment in Brooklyn, the kind of place landlords forgot existed. Butcher kicked the door open, ushering Saitama inside while immediately began checking for surveillance devices, and Frenchie started brewing coffee like the world wasn't ending. "Right," Butcher said, spreading maps and documents across a table that looked like it might collapse. "We've got maybe 45 minutes before Homelander shows up looking for blood, so we need to get you somewhere safe and figure out what Vault's playing at." Saitama sat on a questionable couch. "Why are they calling me a terrorist? I just punched the rude guy." "Because that's how Vault works," explained, pulling up news feeds on multiple screens. "Look, every network they control, which is most of them, is running the same story. Unknown super attacks Homelander unprovoked, dangerous unregistered individual, threat to public safety. They're manufacturing consent for whatever comes next." The screens showed carefully edited footage. Homelander's punch to Saitama's face? Cut. The heat vision? Gone. All that remained was Saitama's normal punch, launching America's favorite hero across multiple states, with commentary about vicious assault and unprovoked violence. "They've already filed federal charges," Huey said, scrolling through his laptop. "Assault on a federal officer. Homelander's deputized under the FBSA. They're calling for your immediate arrest. Shoot on-site authorization if you resist." Saitama blinked. "That seems unfair. He attacked me first." "Yeah, well, fairness ain't exactly Vaught's specialty," Butcher said. He pulled out a burner phone, dialing a number. "I'm calling in a favor, someone who might actually be able to help." 20 minutes later, there was a knock. 3 precise taps. Butcher opened the door to reveal Grace Mallory, former CIA, current Ghost, and the closest thing the boys had to a guardian angel with government connections. She looked at Saitama with the expression of someone who'd seen everything and was tired of it all. "This is him? The one who punched Homelander into Ohio?" "That's the one," Butcher confirmed. Grace pulled up a chair, studying Saitama like a general studying a new weapon. "I've spent 30 years trying to find a way to check Vault's power. 30 years watching them buy politicians, silence whistleblowers, and murder anyone who got too close to the truth. And you accomplished more in 30 seconds than I have in 3 decades. "I just punched him," Saitama said, confused by the attention. "It wasn't that special." "It was very special," Grace said flatly. Homelander is the linchpin of Vault's entire operation. He's worth $180 billion in market capitalization. They've built an empire on the idea that he's invincible. And you proved otherwise on live television before they could cut the feed. Every video they scrub from the internet, 10 more pop up. You've become a symbol. A symbol of what? Saitama asked. Hope, resistance, proof that gods bleed. Grace leaned forward. But Vought will kill you for it. They have to. Either they eliminate you and restore the narrative, or their entire business model collapses. Right now, Stan Edgar is probably deciding whether to negotiate or assassinate. As if summoned by his name, every screen in the safe house suddenly changed. The news feeds, the laptops, even Frenchie's phone, all hijacked by the same broadcast. Stan Edgar sat in his Vault Tower office, hands folded, expression calm as death. Mr. Saitama, Stan's voice filled the room. I know you're watching. I know you're with Butcher and his associates. We have surveillance on all his known locations. A bluff, probably, but an effective one. I'm going to make this very simple. You have two options. He pressed a button. The screen split to show multiple images. Innocent people, families, children, all with crosshairs over their faces. Option 1. You surrender yourself to Vault custody within the next hour. We run tests, study your physiology, and come to a mutually beneficial arrangement. In exchange, these people live. They're civilians who happen to record footage of today's incident. Our teams are en route to their locations now. Swore viciously. Huey looked sick. Butcher's jaw clenched so hard it could crack teeth. Option 2, Stan continued calmly. You refuse. Homelander finds you. People die in the crossfire. We blame you for every casualty. You become not just a terrorist, but a mass murderer. And we still capture you eventually, but with significantly less generous terms. The screen showed Homelander's flight path. He was over Pennsylvania now, getting closer. You have 1 hour, Mr. Saitama. After that, people start dying, and unlike Homelander, I imagine you actually care about collateral damage. Choose wisely. The broadcast ended. Normal programming resumed, pretending nothing had happened. Saitama stood up. I should go turn myself in. Like hell you will, Butcher snarled. That's what they want. They'll disappear you into some black site, dissect you, and nobody will ever know what happened. But those people are probably already dead or fictional, Grace interrupted coldly. Stan Edgar doesn't make threats. He makes promises. And his promise is that either you submit or everyone suffers. Classic hostage negotiation. But here's what he's not telling you. Vought can't afford to let you live regardless of what you choose. You're too dangerous to their bottom line. Kimiko signed rapidly. Translated. She says we need to go public first. Real public. Expose everything Vaught's done. Make them unable to disappear you without massive scrutiny. We've been trying that for years, Huey said bitterly. They own the media. They bury stories. They kill journalists. But they can't kill footage of Homelander losing, Frenchie pointed out. That is already viral. What if we add more? Everything we have. All our evidence. Grace nodded slowly. A data dump. Every crime we can prove. Every cover-up, every body. Release it all at once from multiple sources, too big to contain. Force the conversation. And Saitama becomes the catalyst, Butcher added, understanding. The proof that Vought can be beaten. But we need time to organize. And that means keeping him away from Homelander for another few hours. I can fight him again, Saitama offered. It's not difficult. No, Grace said firmly, not in the city. If you two fight in Manhattan, thousands die regardless of who wins. Collateral damage from super battles kills more people than the soups themselves. We need to draw him out somewhere empty. Was already pulling up maps. There's an old industrial complex in Pennsylvania, abandoned steel mill, miles from anything. If we leak Saitama's location there, Homelander goes there first, Butcher finished. Thinks he's getting an easy kill with no witnesses. Instead, he gets round 2 and we film everything. You want to film me fighting him? Saitama asked. Not just fighting, winning, definitively. Grace's eyes were cold calculation. We need footage of Homelander being beaten. Not a lucky punch, not an ambush. A clear, undeniable demonstration that he's not the strongest. That footage, combined with our evidence dump, ends Vaught's control. Huey raised his hand nervously. One problem, if we leak his location, Vought will know it's a setup. They'll send everyone, the 7, private military, maybe even government forces. Good, Butcher said with a vicious smile. Let them come. Let them all come. We'll film everything. Every soup they send, every weapon they use. And when Saitama walks through it all like it's nothing, the world sees exactly what Vaught's willing to do to maintain power. Saitama had been quiet, processing. Finally, these people you're trying to stop. Vought, Homelander, the others. They're really not heroes. They're products, Grace said flatly. Vought manufactures heroes the way other companies manufacture soft drinks. They test market powers, optimize for profitability, and sell government contracts. The actual heroism is accidental at best, fabricated at worst. And Homelander specifically? Saitama asked. Butcher's expression darkened. He killed my wife. Made it look like an accident, because she was a liability. He's killed hundreds, maybe thousands. Every time he saves people, dozens die in the collateral. And Vought pays off the families, buries the stories, and sells more action figures. Saitama was quiet for a long moment. Then he nodded. Okay, I'll fight him again. But I want something in return. Name it, Grace said. You help me get home. Really help. Not fake promises, real scientists, real effort. And while I'm stuck here, I get to do actual hero work. No cameras, no branding, just helping people who need it. Saitama looked at each of them. And you have to promise that if I help you stop these fake heroes, you're doing it to help people, not revenge, not money, to actually make things better. Butcher opened his mouth, probably to lie, but Grace cut him off. We can't promise our motives are pure, she said honestly. Butcher wants revenge. I want justice. The others want different things, but the outcome is the same. Vought falls, and maybe the next generation of heroes is actually heroic. Good enough? Saitama considered, then nodded. Good enough. Brilliant, Butcher said, already moving. We've got 30 minutes to set the trap. Frenchie, get cameras, military grade. Huey, start coordinating with our journalist contacts. Prep the evidence files. Grace, we'll need your government contacts to keep federal forces off our backs long enough to get this done. And me? Saitama asked. Butcher's smile was razor sharp. You, mate, get to do what you do best. Stand there and let Homelander break himself against you. Think you can manage that? Probably, Saitama said. Can we stop for food on the way? I'm getting hungry again. The abandoned steel mill in Pennsylvania looked like the corpse of American industry. Rusted girders reached toward the sky like skeletal fingers. Empty warehouses gaped with broken windows. Everything was orange with decay and silent except for wind whistling through hollow spaces. Perfect killing ground. Frenchie positioned cameras in 17 different locations, all hardened against electromagnetic interference and connected to satellite uplinks that would broadcast to servers in 6 countries simultaneously. Even if Homelander destroys half, he explained, the others will keep transmitting. The whole world will watch. checked his equipment nervously. I still think this is insane. We're basically baiting the world's most dangerous psychopath with a bald guy who eats hot dogs. Hey, Saitama said, finishing his convenience store dinner. These hot dogs are pretty good, better than the ones back home. Huey was coordinating with journalists via encrypted channels. Everyone's ready. The Guardian, Der Spiegel, Al Jazeera, and about 50 independent journalists. The moment we transmit, they all publish simultaneously. Vought won't be able to suppress all of them. Grace stood apart, phone to her ear, calling in every favor she'd accumulated in 30 years of intelligence work. I can give you 2 hours, she said finally. After that, the National Guard gets mobilized whether I like it or not. Make it count. Butcher stood on a catwalk overlooking the main floor where Saitama waited, looking for all the world like a man waiting for a bus. You sure about this, mate? Once we start, there's no going back. Vought will come at you with everything, not just Homelander, all of them. It's fine, Saitama said. I've fought worse, probably. You fought worse than Homelander? Once fought a guy who could regenerate from a single cell, another guy who could move near light speed, and an alien that could destroy planets. Saitama scratched his head. They all went down in one punch, though. It was disappointing. The boys exchanged glances. Muttered something about different weight classes entirely. Right, Butcher said. Well, let's see if... The sonic boom cut him off. Windows that weren't already broken shattered. Metal groaned, and Homelander descended through the warehouse ceiling in a shower of sparks and rage. He looked worse for wear. His suit was torn, his perfect hair was disheveled, and most importantly, his face showed bruises, purple and yellow, already healing but visible. Proof that he could be hurt. There you are, Homelander said, voice stripped of all pretense of charm. This was pure fury. Do you have any idea what you've done? What you've cost me? Punched you, Saitama offered helpfully. You humiliated me. Homelander's eyes blazed. Me, in front of the entire world. Vought's stock dropped 40 points. The president called me. Foreign governments are questioning our defense contracts, all because you got lucky. It wasn't luck, Saitama said. You're just not very strong. Homelander screamed and fired heat vision at full power. Twin beams of superheated energy capable of cutting through battleship armor converged on Saitama's face. The concrete beneath his feet melted. The air itself ignited. Saitama stood in the inferno, unimpressed. Are we doing this again? It didn't work last time. Homelander cut the heat vision, chest heaving. What are you? Compound V can't make someone this strong. Nothing can. I told you, training. 3 years of... Shut up! Homelander rushed forward, abandoning all technique, just pure rage-fueled violence. He grabbed Saitama and flew straight up through the warehouse ceiling, through clouds, into the cold upper atmosphere. If I can't hurt you down there, let's see how you do in space. They broke through the atmosphere. Earth curved below, beautiful and fragile. Stars blazed without atmospheric interference. And Homelander released Saitama in the vacuum of space, where humans couldn't survive. Let's see you punch your way out of asphyxiation, asshole. Saitama floated in zero gravity, looking around with genuine interest. Huh, I've never been to space before. It's pretty. Homelander stared. You should be dying. You should be suffocating. Why aren't you dying? I can hold my breath for a while, Saitama said, voice somehow carrying in vacuum. This is actually kind of nice. Peaceful. This broke something in Homelander. The last thread of sanity snapped. He'd brought this freak to space, and he was enjoying the view. Nothing worked. Nothing hurt him. He was supposed to be the strongest, The best. The god. I'm going to kill everyone you know, Homelander said quietly, dangerously. Everyone you've ever met. Everyone who helped you. I'm going to burn down that safe house with Butcher and his friends inside. Then I'm going to find every person you saved, every civilian who recorded us. And I'm going to laser through their eyes while they scream. Saitama's expression changed. The boredom vanished, replaced by something that made Homelander instinctively float backward. That's not very heroic, Saitama said quietly. I'm not a hero, Homelander snarled. I'm a god, and gods don't answer to insects. No, Saitama said. You're just a bully with powers you didn't earn. I've met your type before. They all think strength makes them special, makes them better. But strength without responsibility, without protecting the weak, without actually caring about people. Saitama's fist clenched. That's not a hero. That's not even a villain. That's just empty. Homelander laughed. Empty. I'm the most powerful being on Serious Punch. Saitama's fist moved, not casually this time, not holding back. This was intent. This was a hero looking at something that pretended to be heroic and finding it offensive. The punch connected with Homelander's chest. For one eternal microsecond, Homelander felt it. Real pain. Not the minor discomfort of Saitama's normal punch, but actual, genuine, oh God, I'm going to die pain. His indestructible body suddenly felt very, very destructible. Then he was moving. Not flying. Being launched. Like a railgun firing a bullet. He shot through space faster than he'd ever flown voluntarily, past satellites, past the moon. He watched Earth shrink to a marble, then a dot, then nothing as he tumbled through the void. His last conscious thought before blacking out was, Mom was right. I'm not special. Back at Earth, Saitama frowned. Maybe that was too hard. He looked around the vacuum of space. How do I get back down? He tried holding his arms out, but that didn't do anything. Swimming motions didn't help either. After a few minutes of experimental flailing, he just shrugged and waited. Eventually, he'd drift back to Earth. Probably. Saitama drifted in space for approximately 47 minutes, during which he discovered that zero gravity was actually quite relaxing. No sounds, no people asking questions, just peaceful floating. He almost didn't want to return. Fortunately, or unfortunately, NASA noticed the object in low Earth orbit and alerted Vought, who sent Queen Maeve up in an experimental spacecraft to retrieve him before he became an international incident. You know, Maeve said through her helmet communicator as she maneuvered alongside him, when someone punches Homelander into deep space, I'm supposed to be horrified. But honestly, funniest thing I've seen in years. She helped him into the spacecraft. The return trip was quiet until Maeve said, He threatened to kill people, didn't he? That's why you actually tried. Saitama nodded. I don't like bullies. Yeah, me neither. Used to fight them, actually, before Vought made me into a brand. She looked tired again, old. For what it's worth, what you did today, that was more heroic than anything I've done in a decade. They landed at the steel mill, where the boys were celebrating with the kind of manic energy that came from surviving certain death. Frenchie was literally dancing. MM was checking and rechecking that all the footage had uploaded successfully. Huey was fielding calls from journalists worldwide. Butcher grabbed Saitama's shoulders the moment he emerged from the spacecraft. You magnificent bald bastard. You punched that cunt into orbit. Actual orbit. NASA tracked him passing the moon. Is he dead? Saitama asked, slightly concerned. Nah, unfortunately, Grace said, checking her classified feeds. He's alive, unconscious and floating somewhere past lunar orbit, but alive. Vaught's scrambling a retrieval team. He'll be back in a few days, probably. Good, Saitama said. I don't want to kill anyone, even annoying people." "Speaking of annoying people," Grace continued, "Vought just declared a state of emergency. They're calling you a national security threat. The president is being pressured to authorize lethal force. We have maybe 6 hours before every federal agency with guns comes looking for you." "But the footage?" Huey asked hopefully. "Everyone saw what Homelander is, what he threatened. That has to matter." Pulled up his laptop, showing news feeds. The world was indeed watching. But the reactions were complicated. Some outlets praised Saitama as a hero who stood up to a tyrant. Others called him a dangerous unknown who needed to be contained. Governments were divided. Social media was a war zone of hot takes, and Vought was spending billions on PR to control the narrative. "They're pushing the dangerous, unregistered super angle hard," explained, saying Homelander was trying to peacefully apprehend you when you assaulted him, that you're a threat to civilization itself. "But we have footage of everything," Frenchie protested. "Him threatening to murder civilians, the violence, all of it." "And half the country doesn't believe it," Grace said flatly. "They've been conditioned to worship Homelander for 2 decades. You can't undo that overnight with one video, no matter how damning. We've wounded Vought, maybe even mortally, but they're not dead yet." Butcher lit a cigarette, thinking. "So we need to finish them, quickly, before they regroup." "How?" Huey asked. Saitama punched their strongest asset into space, and they're still standing. "Because Homelander isn't their only asset," Grace said. "They have the 7, dozens of other soups on retainer, private military, government contracts, a propaganda machine. Saitama proved one soup can be beaten. We need to prove the entire system is corrupt." "The Compound V," said suddenly. "We've known for years that Vought creates supervillains, doses terrorists with V to create threats that their heroes can fight. If we could prove that to the public." "We have proof," Butcher interrupted. "What we need is someone willing to testify, someone from inside Vought, someone people will believe." Everyone turned to look at Queen Maeve, who'd been silent during the debriefing. "No," she said immediately. "Absolutely not. I testify against Vought. I'm dead within a week." "You're dead anyway," Butcher said bluntly. "You helped Saitama today. Vought knows. They're already planning your replacement. Question is whether you go out quiet or you go out swinging." Maeve's jaw clenched. "You're an asshole, Butcher." "Yeah, but I'm right." She stood abruptly, pacing. For years, she'd been complicit. Taken the money, looked away, let Homelander kill and brutalize while she played hero for cameras. The guilt had been eating her alive for so long, she'd forgotten what having a spine felt like. "If I testify," she said slowly, "I tell everything. Not just Compound V, all of it. Every cover-up, every murder, every crime Homelander committed that I witnessed and did nothing about." "That's what we need," Grace confirmed. "Full testimony, everything you know. I want immunity, legal protection, and a guarantee that Vought can't touch my family." "Done," Grace said without hesitation. "I still have enough pull to make that happen." Maeve looked at Saitama, who'd been eating convenience store food throughout the entire conversation. "Why are you helping us? You just got here. This isn't your fight." Saitama swallowed his rice ball. "Where I'm from, I'm a hero. Just for fun, but still. And heroes are supposed to stop bad guys who hurt people. These Vought people sound like bad guys. Plus," he added, "that Homelander guy was really annoying." Despite everything, Maeve laughed. "He really was, wasn't he?" "Right," Butcher said, stubbing out his cigarette. "Here's the play. Maeve testifies. We release her testimony along with all our evidence, every document, every recording, every body we can prove. Coordinate with journalists worldwide for maximum impact. Create a shitstorm too big for Vought to contain. And Saitama, Huey asked. Becomes the face of resistance, Grace said. The proof that Vaught's gods can bleed. Every disgruntled soup, every victim's family, every politician who wants to break Vaught's stranglehold, they all rally around him. I don't want to be a face of anything, Saitama protested. I just want to go home. And we'll help you, Butcher promised. But first, we finish this. We tear down Vaught's empire. Then we find every scientist in this world and make them figure out dimensional travel. Deal? Saitama considered. Back home, he was bored, unchallenged. Every fight ended before it began. But here he'd found something interesting. Not a strong opponent, Homelander barely qualified as exercise, but a purpose. Actual villains who needed stopping. People who needed protecting. Maybe that was worth staying for a little while longer. Deal, he said, but I'm still looking for cheap eggs. We'll find you eggs, MM promised. The cheapest eggs in America. Outside, dawn was breaking. In a few hours, federal forces would mobilize. Vought would counterattack with everything they had. The Seven, minus Homelander, would come hunting. The real battle was just beginning. But for the first time in years, the boys had hope. Real, tangible hope. Because they had something Vought couldn't buy, couldn't control, and couldn't kill. They had a bald man in a yellow jumpsuit who just wanted to be a hero for fun. And sometimes that was enough to change the world. The congressional hearing room was packed beyond capacity. Every major news network broadcast live. International media filled the overflow rooms, and at the witness table sat Queen Maeve, real name Rebecca, flanked by lawyers Grace Mallory had personally vetted. Across from her, Vaught's legal team looked like they'd collectively aged a decade overnight. Stan Edgar sat in the gallery, expression unreadable, while Ashley Barrett's eye twitched so violently she'd given up trying to hide it. Senator Victoria Newman, secretly a Vought asset, though nobody knew yet, gavelled the hearing to order. Ms. Rebecca, you've requested immunity in exchange for testimony regarding Vought International's alleged criminal activities. This committee will hear your statement. Maeve took a breath. This was it. No going back. My name is Rebecca, she began, voice steady despite her shaking hands. For 15 years I've been Queen Maeve. I've been America's hero, a role model, a symbol. And for 15 years I've been a fraud. The room erupted. Newman gavelled for silence. Vought International doesn't create heroes, Maeve continued. They create products. They dosed me with Compound V when I was 16. Didn't ask permission. Didn't explain the risks. Just injected an experimental superdrug into a child because their market research said strong female hero would test well with demographics. She pulled out documents, leaked files Butcher had acquired over years of investigation. Here's proof that Vought has been dosing civilians with Compound Vi to create supervillains. Why? Because heroes need villains to fight. It's good for ratings, good for merchandising, good for stock prices. The Vought legal team objected. Newman sustained. But the damage was done. The documents were already in the public record. Homelander, Maeve said, and the room went silent. America's greatest hero. He's killed hundreds of civilians. I have dates, locations, and witnesses. Flight 37. He could have saved everyone. Instead, he murdered everyone to cover his mistakes. The apartment complex in Brooklyn. The subway accident that killed 43 people. All him. All covered up by Vought. She looked directly at the cameras. At America. And I did nothing. I watched him kill, brutalize, and terrorize people for years because I was scared, because I was complicit, because Vought made me rich and famous and I told myself it was worth it. Tears streamed down her face now. But then I met someone who showed me what a real hero looks like. Someone who stood up to Homelander not for money or fame or glory, but because it was right. Someone who punched the most powerful man in the world into orbit because he threatened to murder innocent people. Outside the Capitol building, Saitama sat on a hot dog cart, eating lunch and watching the hearing on someone's phone. A crowd had gathered, some wanting autographs, others calling him a terrorist, most just confused. "Is that lady talking about you?" asked a kid, maybe 10 years old, wearing a now ironic Homelander t-shirt. "I think so," Saitama said between bites. "She seems nice." "Are you really stronger than Homelander?" "Yeah, but he's not very strong to begin with, so it's not impressive." The kid's eyes went wide. For his entire life, Homelander had been the measuring stick for power, the ultimate, the absolute. And this bald guy in a weird costume was treating him like a minor inconvenience. "Can you teach me to be strong like you?" the kid asked hopefully. Saitama considered this seriously. "Do you want to be strong to help people or to be famous?" "To help people," the kid said immediately, then hesitated. "And maybe be a little famous?" "Then start by helping people in small ways. Don't worry about powers or costumes. Just do the right thing when you can. The strength comes later." Saitama finished his hot dog. "And do 100 push-ups every day. That's important." Inside the hearing, Maeve was finishing. "I'm not asking for forgiveness. I don't deserve it. I'm asking for justice. Vought has committed crimes against humanity. They've created super-terrorists. They've covered up murders. They've exploited children. And they've convinced America that their products are heroes." She stood, ignoring Newman's objections. "I have evidence. Documented proof. Witness statements. Everything you need to shut them down. But you have to act, because if you don't, Vought will bury this like they've buried everything else. And the real heroes, the people actually trying to help, will keep getting crushed by corporate interests and sociopathic products wearing capes." The hearing dissolved into chaos, but the message had been sent worldwide. Within hours, 12 more former Vought employees came forward with corroborating testimony. European governments launched investigations. The FBI announced raids on Vought facilities across the country, and Vought International stock went into free fall. In Vought Tower, Stan Edgar watched his empire crumble with the detached interest of a man who'd always known this day might come. He'd prepared offshore accounts, private islands, escape plans. But as he watched Saitama on the news feeds, just sitting there eating hot dogs, casually destroying everything Edgar had built, he felt something he hadn't experienced in decades. Respect. "Sir?" Ashley entered his office, looking like death warmed over. "The board wants you to resign. Federal marshals are downstairs with warrants. We're finished." "No," Stan said calmly. "Vought is finished. I'll be fine. And Ashley?" He almost smiled. "You should run. They'll need a scapegoat, and middle management always makes the best sacrifices." Ashley fled. Stan stood, straightening his tie, and walked to the window. 40 stories below. Protesters surrounded Vought Tower. Not dozens, thousands, holding signs, chanting, demanding justice. One sign read, "Homelander, terrorist." Another, "We want real heroes," and prominently repeated throughout the crowd, "One punch man for president." Stan chuckled. That bald idiot probably didn't even understand what he'd done, didn't care about politics or corporate empires or social movements. He just wanted cheap eggs and a way home, but he'd toppled an empire anyway. "Fascinating," Stan muttered, then turned to face the federal marshals entering his office. Across town, the boys watched the news feeds from their safe house, hardly believing it was real. "We did it," Huey said, voice full of wonder. We actually did it. Vaults collapsing, criminal investigations, congressional hearings. It's happening. Not yet, Butcher cautioned, though even he was smiling. Homelander's still out there. The 7, minus Maeve, are still operational. This ain't over until they're all in cells or graves. Speaking of Homelander, said, checking his feeds, NASA's reporting they've located him. He's regained consciousness, and he's heading back to Earth. The celebration stopped. How long? Butcher asked. 12 hours, maybe less if he pushes himself. Frenchie cursed in French. He will be angry, no? Very, very angry. He's going to be apocalyptic, Grace said via conference call. Saitama humiliated him, Maeve betrayed him, and his entire world is crumbling. When he gets back, he won't care about PR or strategy. He'll just want to kill everyone responsible. Then we need to be ready, Butcher said. One last stand. Finish this properly. Where's Saitama? Huey asked suddenly. They checked the tracking app they'd convinced Saitama to install on the burner phone they'd given him. The location showed a grocery store in Queens. Called him. Saitama answered on the 5th ring. Hello? Mate, where are you? Butcher demanded. Grocery store. They're having a sale on eggs, 2 dozen for $3. It's amazing. That's great, Butcher said, struggling for patience, but Homelander's coming back. He's going to want revenge. We need to coordinate. Oh, okay. Should I come back to the safe house? No, stay mobile. Keep your phone on. When he shows up, we'll direct you somewhere we can control the fight. Sure, Saitama said agreeably. I'm going to buy some vegetables too. They're also on sale. He hung up. The boys stared at each other. We're trusting the fate of the world to a man shopping for discounted produce, said flatly. Yeah, Butcher agreed. And somehow that's the least insane part of this whole operation. Homelander returned to Earth like a falling star of rage and humiliation. He bypassed Vault Tower. They'd failed him, betrayed him, let his empire collapse. He bypassed the 7. Maeve had turned traitor. The others were irrelevant. He had one target now, the bald man who destroyed everything. His super hearing picked up the heartbeat instantly, steady, calm, infuriatingly peaceful. In a grocery store of all places, shopping like the world wasn't ending. Homelander adjusted his trajectory and dove toward Queens at speeds that made the air itself scream. He crashed through the store's ceiling in an explosion of debris and fury. Shoppers scattered screaming. Saitama stood in the produce section, holding a bag of carrots, looking up at the hole in the roof with mild annoyance. You made me drop my vegetables, Saitama said. Homelander's eyes glowed red. His suit was scorched from re-entry. His face was a mask of barely controlled madness. When he spoke, his voice was stripped of all humanity. Pure hatred. I'm going to kill you slowly. Then I'm going to find Butcher, Huey, Frenchie, everyone who helped you, and I'm going to make them watch each other die. You already threatened that, Saitama pointed out. It didn't work then either. Because you cheated, Homelander screamed. You're some kind of freak, some impossible thing that shouldn't exist, but you bleed. Everything bleeds. He fired heat vision at maximum intensity, drawing on every ounce of power Compound Vi had given him. The beams were white-hot, powerful enough to cut through mountains. The grocery store began melting around them. Saitama walked forward through the heat vision, seemingly unbothered by being the target of a weapon that could vaporize tanks. He picked up his dropped carrots, inspected them for damage, and sighed. These are ruined now. I wanted to make a stir-fry. Homelander cut the heat vision, chest heaving. It wasn't working. Nothing worked. This creature, this thing, was immune to everything. What was he? What are you? Homelander whispered, and for the first time there was fear in his voice. Real, genuine fear. "I told you before," Saitama said patiently. "I'm just a guy who's a hero for fun. You're just too weak to understand that." "I'm not weak," Homelander charged forward, abandoning all technique, all training, just pure desperate violence. He punched faster than sound, combining speed and strength in ways that should have shattered anything. Saitama caught his fist. Just caught it. One hand. Homelander's strongest punch stopped completely, like a parent catching a child's tantrum. "You are weak," Saitama said quietly. "Not physically, but here." He tapped Homelander's chest. "You got power you didn't earn, never struggled, never trained, never sacrificed anything. They just gave you strength, told you were special, and you believed them." He squeezed slightly. Homelander's invulnerable bones creaked. "I spent 3 years training so hard I went bald, broke my body and rebuilt it stronger. Not because I wanted to be famous or powerful, but because I wanted to be strong enough to help people. That's the difference between us." Homelander tried to pull away. Couldn't. Tried to fly up. Couldn't. For the first time in his life, he was completely powerless. "You're not a hero," Saitama continued. "You're not even a villain. You're just a bully who never got told no. Well, I'm telling you now, no more hurting people, no more threats, no more pretending you're special." "I am special," Homelander screamed, eyes filling with tears. "I'm supposed to be special. They promised I was special." "Everyone's special to someone," Saitama said. "You just never learned that being special doesn't mean being better than everyone else." He released Homelander's hand. "Go away, find a therapist, get help. But if you hurt anyone else, I'll punch you again, and this time I won't hold back enough for you to survive." Homelander stared at him. At this impossible creature who treated the world's most powerful being like a misbehaving child. At the man who'd destroyed his entire life without even trying hard. "I'll kill you," Homelander said weakly. "Somehow. I'll find a way." "Probably not," Saitama said, already walking back toward the vegetables that weren't ruined. "But you can try if it makes you feel better." The absolute dismissal broke something in Homelander. He screamed, wordless, agonized, and flew away. Not toward Butcher, not toward Vought, just away, into the sky, into the clouds, into nowhere. The boys arrived minutes later expecting a war zone. Instead, they found Saitama carefully selecting new carrots. "What happened?" Butcher demanded. "Where's Homelander?" "He left," Saitama said. "I told him to get therapy." "You told him to get therapy," repeated slowly. "Yeah, he seems really unhappy. Probably has issues from childhood or something." Huey checked his phone, tracking social media. "People are reporting Homelander sightings heading west, fast. He's leaving the city entirely." "Is he coming back?" Frenchie asked nervously. Saitama shrugged. "Maybe eventually, but I don't think he'll hurt anyone for a while. He looked pretty sad," Grace called. "Federal agents just arrested the entire Vault executive board. The Seven's headquarters is surrounded. We did it. Vault's finished." "And Homelander?" Butcher asked. "He's currently being tracked by NORAD heading toward the Pacific. Looks like he's leaving the continent entirely." She paused. "Did Saitama kill him?" "Worse," Butcher said, watching Saitama compare carrot prices. "He defeated him without even trying. Made him look weak. Made him feel weak. The cunt's probably going to spend the next decade in an existential crisis." "Good," Grace said simply. "The world's safer with him doubting himself." Over the next weeks, the fallout continued. Vought International declared bankruptcy. The Seven disbanded officially. Federal investigations expanded to every soup corporation in America. Laws changed. Oversight committees formed. The entire paradigm of corporate heroism collapsed and was slowly rebuilt into something with actual accountability. Queen Maeve retired quietly to a small town in Iowa, living under her real name for the first time in 15 years. A-Train turned state's witness to avoid prison. The Deep became a meme. Starlight started a genuine nonprofit focused on helping Supi victims, and Saitama kept looking for a way home. Scientists studied him. Physicists theorized. Dimension experts consulted ancient texts. Everyone tried to figure out how to return him to his universe. Progress was slow, but Saitama didn't mind. This world had problems, sure, but it also had pretty good hot dogs, decent sales on groceries, and, surprisingly, actual hero work to do. Because with Vought gone, real heroes were needed. People who helped because it was right, not because it was profitable. And while everyone argued about regulations and oversight and rebuilding, Saitama just helped. Stopped robberies, saved people from fires, prevented disasters, all without cameras, without branding, without asking for anything in return except directions to the nearest discount supermarket. The boys found him 3 months later sitting on a roof in Brooklyn, eating convenience store sushi and watching the sunset. "Still here then?" Butcher said, climbing up to join him. "Yeah. The scientists say they're making progress. Something about quantum bridges and dimensional frequencies. I didn't understand most of it." "You in a hurry to leave?" Saitama considered this. "Not really. It's kind of nice here. People need help. There's actual problems to solve, and nobody knows who I am, so they don't expect anything." "You're becoming a legend anyway," Huey said, joining them. "People call you the One-Punch Man. There are entire forums dedicated to debating how strong you actually are." "That's stupid," Saitama said. "I'm just strong. Why does everyone need to quantify it?" MM laughed. "Because humans need to measure things. Makes us feel like we understand them." They sat in companionable silence as the sun set over New York, a city that had worshipped false gods now learning to appreciate real heroes. It wasn't perfect, it wasn't even close, but it was better than before. "Thank you," Frenchie said suddenly, "for everything. For stopping Homelander, for bringing down Vought, for showing everyone what real heroism looks like." "I just punched a guy," Saitama said, embarrassed by the praise. "It wasn't that complicated." "It never is," Butcher said quietly, "for people like you." 6 months after Saitama punched Homelander into orbit, the world had changed in ways both obvious and subtle. Vought Tower became federal offices dedicated to superhuman regulation. The Seven's merchandise was relegated to discount bins and ironic nostalgia. And a new generation of heroes emerged, real ones, flawed ones, human ones, who helped because they wanted to, not because contracts demanded it. Homelander was never seen again. Some claimed he'd fled to another country. Others insisted he died of shame. Butcher liked to imagine him in a small cabin somewhere, finally getting that therapy Saitama suggested, confronting the hollow core of his manufactured existence. Saitama remained, waiting for science to crack dimensional travel. It might take years, might take decades, but he was patient, and in the meantime, this strange universe with its corporate heroes and deep corruption needed someone who just wanted to help. No cameras, no merchandise, no marketing campaign. Just a bald man in a yellow jumpsuit who showed up when people needed saving and left before anyone could make him into the next product. The boys continued their work, now officially sanctioned by the government as a superhuman oversight organization. Billy Butcher finally got his justice, though it felt hollow compared to the revenge he'd imagined. But watching Saitama casually save people daily reminded him that maybe justice was better than revenge anyway. And on quiet evenings in grocery stores across New York, if you looked carefully, you might spot a bald man comparing egg prices, muttering about inflation, completely oblivious to being the most powerful being on Earth. Because Saitama wasn't interested in power. Never had been. He just wanted to be a hero for fun, help people when they needed it, and find a decent sale on groceries. In a world that had forgotten what heroism actually meant, that was more than enough. It was everything. The scientists would eventually figure out dimensional travel. Saitama would return home to his universe of monsters and hero associations. But he'd leave behind something irreplaceable. Proof that real heroes existed, that power didn't require corporations or compound phi, and that sometimes one punch was all it took to change everything. The world had wanted gods in capes who could sell products and make them feel safe. Instead, they got a bald man who just wanted to help, and that made all the difference. May the Force be with you. More stories await.